Hello again, everyone. Zack Attack is here with the attack line for Monday, June the 11th, 2012. Alright, kicking things off with my gig news of the weekend, my gig reviews of my 3 gigs I did over the weekend. Nice weekend, very nice weekend, very hot weekend in Michigan. About 80 degrees, at least 90 degrees over the weekend, which my weekend kicked off with my gigs on Saturday. I did a Cycle for Life little bike charity event. Disappointingly, not a lot of people showed up because of the heat. It was like 90 degrees on Saturday. Too hot to ride a bike around a parking lot for charity, no matter how charitable it is. But the grad party that night, did the day, like I said, did the Cycle for Life the day. Saturday night, I did a grad party, which is amazing. I've only did 2 grad parties this year already. Last Saturday, June 2nd, I did a grad party, and this past Saturday, a couple of days ago, I did a grad party. The grad party on Saturday was the best one we've done. It was at least 300 people there, packed house, big yard, great grad party, great dancing. It ended yesterday. My weekend ended yesterday with Arnold and pancake breakfast. I DJ'd it, and decent crowd. They like my music and my videos, so I'm happy that I got a good response for Arnold and glad probably gonna do that again next year. And got another gig this upcoming Friday. See what happens there. Alright, over now. Entertainment news of the day, starting with your #1 movie. Well, after only 1 week, Snow White and the Woodsman kicked off, ironically, a movie like Snow White, the original, which is animated. Madagascar 3 making 60 million, beating Prometheus. But Prometheus has nothing to be ashamed of. A dandy 50 million made for Prometheus over the weekend, making a lot of money in the box office for both, like I said, Madagascar and Prometheus. So congratulations to both of them having a great opening weekend. Both of them. While Snow White tumbled to 3rd place with only 23 million. So there you go. Now, double tour news involving Gaga and Madonna. Madonna had a little Janet Jackson incident at a concert recently over the weekend. In Istanbul this past Thursday night, she decided to flash her white nipple during her performance of Human Nature. And the video is on YouTube. I saw it. She was like wearing like a little bit of a see-through bra, and she just kind of like gently let her nipples slip. That's kind of weird to see that. You know what I mean? She's like what 54, and I love Madonna to death, but it's like that's kind of like going out there. You know, this tour's been kind of a weird, unique, violent tour she's been doing. This MDNA tour, which is of course kicked off a few weeks ago in Tel Aviv, and she, like I said, did a nipple thing, and of course, during this MDNA tour, she uses a little bit of Lady Gaga's "Born This Way," mashing up with "Express Yourself." Well, Gaga takes it as Madonna slapping her in the face about adding "Born This Way" to Vogue because, "Express Yourself," because as everyone knows, "Born This Way" in anyone's mind sounds like "Express Yourself." Gaga decided to express herself doing a concert in Australia, talking about how mad she was by Madonna. Maybe she was saying it because she got a little bump in the head. Gaga got slammed in the head by a gun, prop gun, or pole or something, during a performance of Judas that same night in Australia, suffering a concussion. But in typical Gaga fashion, speaking of that video, like Madonna's nipple slip, is also airing on the internet. Saw that one too over the weekend. She got in the head doing Judas and finished the song and the performance. She's probably going to continue the rest of the tour and at least on with the show. Unlike a certain WWE wrestler suffering a concussion, I'll talk about him when I get to my Raw preview in just a few moments. And before I get to anything WWE related, TNA time. TNA had their pay-per-view last night. Slammiversary. The first inductee of the TNA Hall of Fame was inducted. Sting was, of course, announced as the first inductee. I thought it'd be Jeff Jarrett or AJ Styles. Of course, I didn't watch the pay-per-view because I mentioned it in the past. I don't want to pay for a TNA pay-per-view. And plus, I hate the internet free streaming. But anyway, Sting, although inducted to the TNA Hall of Fame, lost to Bobby Roode to the TNA World title. Another cheap finish, as I know of, from Roode. But we did crown two new champions, as Roode and Austin Aries' reigns as TNA X Division and World title, and still keep going. A couple reigns, title reigns, and an undefeated streak came to an end last night at Slammiversary. First, after only holding the titles for less than a month, Kaz and Daniels loses the TNA Tag Team titles to AJ Styles and Kurt Angle. Everybody was an okay matchup. Also, we crowned a new TNA Knockouts champion, which was Brooke Tessmacher. Despite many criticisms from many TNA fans that she ain't ready yet, we'll see what Brooke does as the new champion. And she did what James Storm did not do, win the title in their hometown. Speaking of James Storm returned following a 2-month hiatus following his loss to Bobby Roode at Lockdown. James Storm came back and ended Crimson's undefeated streak by accepting his open challenge. I know a lot of people predicted that the person who would accept Crimson's challenge would defeat him, and indeed James Storm was. Great way to come back from Storm and hoping to get another shot at Roode. Before that happens, we need another title match involving somebody else first. Mr. Kennedy defeated Jeff Hardy and RVD in a triple threat match. Slated to be Mr. Anderson taking on Bobby Roode for the TNA World Championship this Thursday night on Impact. Other matches including Devon and Garrett Bischoff defeating Robbie ENT. Joseph Park / Abyss defeated Bully Ray. Of course, that's when Abyss came out. Because I heard that there was a little spot that Joseph Park slipped underneath the ring. Basically to dress up as Abyss. So now everyone finally knows that Joseph Park is Abyss at last. If that match didn't prove anything to you that Abyss is Joseph Park, nothing will. Other matches besides that, Hernandez versus Kid Cash. Hernandez won. And that's basically all the matches of TNA Slammiversary. Don't know much about it. I was okay. At least TNA's momentum's going strong. Unlike WWE's momentum's been losing strong after the whole Brock Lesnar getting suspended thing. But we'll see what happens. Heading towards No Way Out. Speaking of No Way Out in WWE, on to my WWE Raw preview for tonight. The last Raw before No Way Out. And of course, a 3-hour Raw. A 3-hour Raw. The last special 3-hour Raw before 3 hours become the permanent time starting in July with the 1000th episode of Raw in July, like I mentioned. Top 5 questions that must be answered tonight. Question number 5. What will go down between CM Punk / AJ / Daniel Bryan / Kane? Now, I mentioned last 2 weeks, AJ has costed Punk matches. Costing him his match against Daniel Bryan 2 weeks ago, and causing CM Punk to lose a match last week. So we'll see what happens with AJ and Punk this week. And of course, Daniel Bryan and Kane heading towards momentum towards their triple threat match for the WWE Championship this Sunday at the pay-per-view. I'll talk about another title match in a moment. Question number 4. What will happen between John Cena and the Big Show tonight? Well, Big Show, like John Cena a few weeks ago, was not on Raw TV-wise last week, but he appeared after Raw went off the air. So John Cena beat the crap out of Michael Cole last week, sending a message to the Big Show. Now that Big Show and Cena will probably be both in the building tonight, heading towards their steel cage match, trying to make this feud bankable, because we all know this feud sucks. And they feuded many times before. And Cena has FU'd Big Show many times, has beat him many times, so expect a Cena victory on Sunday, despite the fact it isn't a steel cage match and all. But no matter what, this feud sucks. Match will suck. No matter what kind of exciting formula they're going to try to build up for us tonight with Cena and Big Show on Raw. Question number 3. Will any other matches be made for No Way Out? Well, we don't know if there's any U.S. title match or not, or an IC title match or not. We'll probably find out those title matches later on. Speaking of title matches on the way out, lead to the question number 2. What will happen with the World title match? Who will now face Sheamus? I mentioned Gaga got a concussion. She wasn't the only one who got injured over the weekend. R-Truth got injured, and Alberto Del Rio got injured, suffering a concussion. And there was rumors over the weekend about whether or not Alberto will be able to fight Sheamus this Sunday. A lot of reports flying around, but WWE confirmed through their text messaging alerts that Alberto Del Rio indeed will not be medically cleared to wrestle Sheamus this Sunday, and a new number 1 contender for Sheamus will be announced tonight on Raw. Dolph Ziggler. That's what I'm guessing. Because you know that whole Dolph Ziggler thing about him being billed as a singles guy. He was in a match against Sheamus last 2 weeks. He proves that he deserves a title shot against Sheamus, or at least a title shot altogether. He's getting a big push. So I'm guessing Dolph Ziggler will get the title shot against Sheamus. But we will indeed find out who will face Sheamus this Sunday tonight on Raw. And question number 1. What will go down between John Laurinaitis and Vince McMahon? Well, Vince McMahon slated to return on Raw on screen for the first time in 7 months tonight to give a job evaluation to John Laurinaitis. Now, they're saying on the WWE corporate site that John Laurinaitis is no longer the Executive Vice President of Talent Relations, that Triple H is taking it over. So we'll see if that has something to do with the storyline tonight involving John Laurinaitis and Vince McMahon. I'm guessing John Laurinaitis probably fired from Executive Vice President so he can focus more on being an on-air guy like he is now, an on-air general manager. He is, besides Vicky and Michael Cole, one of the most hateable heels in the WWE today. So see what happens with John and Vince. And of course, No Way Out with the new number 1 contender to be named after the injury suffered by Alberto Del Rio over the weekend on the tour of Spain. Find out on the last Raw before No Way Out, 3-hour Raw tonight at 8/7 Central on USA Network. That is it for the Atakline for today. I'll see you all later for my Raw review. Then I have all been attacked by the news from Zach. Thank you very much. See you all later. Have a good night. See you later tonight.